You heard J.J. Watt at the beginning of that referencing the booing from the crowd that happened in the moment of unity when the two teams came together in the center of the field. And there were about 16,000 fans in there. Audible booing was heard. Ryan, what did you make of the way that both teams handled the whole situation last night?
One, I think it's good that they booed. I think the world needs to continue to see that, to say that it was about the anthem, and the reason that people were upset about the protests was that it was during the national anthem and they felt like it disrespected the veterans in some way because of that. So I think that was a good piece of what happened last night. This also made me think about how wonderful women are. When I thought about the WNBA and the way that they have stood throughout this whole process with the fight for equality, the fight for social justice, never actually caring whether or not people received it a certain way or looked at them a certain way, but cared about what was right. Because when I listen to Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt and Patrick Mahomes, it seems they try to have the most respectful way to demonstrate and say that they are together in the fight for social justice and the fight to end racism, but not offend other people. But people were still offended. And the reason that people were offended was not the form of protest, but the reason of the protest. The reason of the protest is to support the Black community and minorities as they fight to be treated equally, as they fight to be on the same ground, as they fight for fairness. And there are some people that are going to stand against that no matter who comes together to do it. And I think last night was just another example of that. But I say good for those men for saying that they wanted to do it together.
You know, we've spent so much time talking about the form of protest, kneeling, standing, arm up, hand on shoulder, staying in the locker room, going out, what it means, what would it take to make people happy or make them feel okay with it. When what we learned last night, what we saw, and perhaps should have already known, is that the form of the protests never mattered to people who do not believe what the protests are about or do not agree with it. As Ryan said, it was never about the flag for those people, the people who booed. The goalposts will always be moved. Similarly to the way in which when Black people in this country are killed, the goalposts are moved. Oh, how did he act? How did she act? What was their story? It's the same mechanism of dishonesty, quite frankly. And look, the booing, it wasn't everyone, right? Maybe it wasn't even the majority. I don't know. But it was enough people to remind us that when it comes to this topic, which is really so basic, it's just human rights, we still have a really, really long way to go.
You know, it made me think, like, just in the simplest form and listening to you both, I have personally decided to not listen to that noise, right? But at the same time, you're human and you think, when did the right thing become controversial? Like, are we at the point now where solidarity, unity, and because, Ryan, I think you make the best point about the reason for that solidarity and unity is to bring attention to something that's happening in this country. My question has always been to people that always find all of these different avenues to talk about social justice and why it's not actually happening is, do you really think that this many people would make noise about something that's a figment of their imagination? Do you think that Black people in this country wake up saying that, you know what, we need to make something up today about how we're treated, and hopefully people will adjust to it and feel the same way about it? So I just decided, Mina, Ryan, and Laura, the hell with them. The hell with everybody that continues to move the goalposts, that has this idea that everything is not what we're saying it is. Forget them. We're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep demonstrating. We're going to keep standing in unity for people for right. It's not that controversial.
As Mina has so eloquently said so many times, this is simple. It's a human rights issue. People deserve to have those rights. Thank you for this conversation. We've got more coming your way on NFL Live. And coming up next, we're going to get to the games. We're going to make some picks. We have marquee matchups for week 1. And if I had to guess, Tom Brady's pretty excited.
Let's go! Yeah! this.
Listen, I'm taking Cam Newton and the butterflies. Cam Newton says he gives them, and I got butterflies right now, just waiting to see what he looks like in Josh McDaniels' offense. This offense will be better with Cam Newton. Can't wait to see him move the ball 1-0 for the Patriots, just like we're used to seeing.
Mina, who wins in the Chargers-Cincinnati game?
I'm going with the Chargers. I love Joe Burrow. I do not love his offensive line, and I really don't love it against Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. They have a tough test for the young rookie, who I think is going to be great, just not this weekend.
Marcus, pick Green Bay and Minnesota.
Does Aaron Rodgers still play for Green Bay? Yeah. So I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Listen, I know we talk about all of the talent that's not there. Scorched Earth Tour by Aaron Rodgers. He about to take Green Bay to another level. Yep, I said it.
Yeah, he was the NFL's all-time leader in touchdown to interception ratio until a kid named Patrick Mahomes came on the scene. But still, Mahomes and Rodgers almost in their own camp up there, really, really good. Hey, speaking of some great quarterbacks, we get to see Drew Brees. I'm sorry, is that Andy Reid's mask? Oh my goodness. More on that in a second. But first, Drew Brees and Tom Brady over the years.
Another opportunity! Man, I'm playing for you, brother! I'm playing for you! Let's go! Tempo and rhythm, here we go.
Benny, come back. Billy, over here, fix right.
No, no, no. Who's the Y? Who's the Y?
You're the Y. No, you're the F. You're the Y.
Get on, Lance, get on!
Here we go, from the top.
Nice shot!
Yes. Big play.
Hey, let's just relax and get back in rhythm.
Hey, we ain't done, fellas.
Milestone touchdown pass, number 580, regular season and postseason more than any other.
It's another day at the office, kid.
Looks to the far sideline, wide open, Traquan Smith. Drew Brees has done it.
I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
Drew Brees is the NFL's all-time leading passer.
How about that, huh? How about that?
Oh boy, is this one gonna be good. We can't wait to see Drew Brees against Tom Brady. Let's pick it. Mina Kimes, you get the first shot.
You know, I'm going to say something with my chest that I kind of quietly said earlier. The Saints defense is going to be better than the Saints offense, and they are why I am picking them in this game.
RC.
Yeah, look, for me, I'm going with the Saints. I think the Saints have the better defense. I think the Saints have more continuity on offense. Who's been together more than Sean Payton and Drew Brees? Fast start for the Saints. Tampa Bay still has a little way to go to catch up with the NFC South champs.
Marcus.
Trying to keep myself under composure for what Ryan just did. But I'm going Tom Brady, and because these tight ends are going to exploit this vaunted Saints defense that I'm just finding out about, that's supposed to be the greatest defense ever.
Hey, real fast, go ahead and put that Andy Reid mask back on that you had, Ryan. Where is it? I know you got it right there. Okay, bring it back. Let's go. We got like 30 seconds. It's very foggy in there.
You look like Bruce Tibiano, man.
It's very foggy. He can't see. He's going to take that off because
I came with this dude.
we have time for one more thing before we go. We begin with Nina.
Oh, man. I don't know if you guys, but last night, did anyone else watch the game and go, wait a minute, the Chiefs have Kelechi Osemele and he's awesome? Like, how did we let this happen? He was mauling last night. It shouldn't have been a surprise. Former Pro Bowler, he's amazing. But the fact that he was able to slide into this offense and just dominate up front is why they're going to win the Super Bowl. Well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons.
RC.
Yeah, listen, for me, the one more thing from last night was Ladarius Sneed. He was the guy that came along and really showed that he was big time. He's a fourth-round draft pick with first-round measurables. And so when you have a guy like that step in, step up, and play the way that he played, it bodes well for this team down the stretch.
Marcus.
Lamar Jackson will pick out right where he left off. And I think it will be a little bit more limited through his legs in that run game, and he'll use his arm more to have success. But that does not mean he won't be as effective and right there in the dead heat to be the MVP of the NFL once again.
I wanted to use the time that I